Welcome to my channel, Spells and Samadhi. This is your host, the Indian Mage, and here we talk about altered states of consciousness, occult philosophies, and the mysteries of mind and magic. I'm a practitioner of chaos magic and many other magical philosophies, mixing both Western and Eastern ideas. And there are a lot of ideas and concepts and practices I've found beneficial to my practice and my life, which I wanted to share here on my channel. I hope it benefits at least one of you out there, and then that will make me really happy. So before we enter into the actual practices of magic, I think we should question reality a bit more. And there are many avenues through which reality can be questioned. A true magician ponders the extent and bendability of reality to know how much of it can be harnessed and how much of it cannot be harnessed. One of the things a magician must consider first is language. Language is one of the primary markers of our civilization's progress. How much a language progresses is the amount of progress of the civilization by the fact that the number of experiences can be included in a language develops over time. We have now words for many things we would not have maybe 200, 300 years ago. If you go to our caveman forefathers and if you held a phone in front of them, they'd call that magic and you'd still call it a phone. So language is a big important thing. In most cases, language is a metaphor. In our reality, we can't treat language always as a metaphor. Then all maths and all expressions and communications and banking and flights and everything will fall and shatter into anarchy. But when it comes to magic, especially the scriptures, or when a magician tries to convey something to another magician, the language sometimes might be a metaphor. So whatever you read in magical scriptures or books or whatever you hear in videos, they don't always necessarily have to be literal. They can mean one thing and yet present to be something totally else. So language should be handled very carefully and understood very well so as to express and communicate to yourself what you are trying to understand. Next is the limitations of our brain. How much of our brain do we really use? It's been well established that we used maximum up to 17 to 20 or maybe maximum of 22-23% of our brain, which is not much actually, and yet it has given us the understanding of rocket science, the understanding of our world as it is, the relationship of planets close to us, our microorganism strata helped us in understanding higher biological creatures, medicinal sciences. So much it has given us already. But what lies beyond this 20-25% of the brain usage? Are there special gifts? Do we have a better understanding? Do we get to keep a lot of memory? What is present beyond this utilization of the brain that we currently have? So a magician understands that we are still limited, and from this state of limitation we must expand and go beyond the limits of the brain that we already know. The third point is our senses. Most of the understanding of reality that we have right now is through our five senses: our ears, our eyes, our nose, our sense of taste, a sense of touch. All these senses give us information from the surroundings and from ourselves also. And we trust this information blindly, thinking that this is it and this is reality. Do you think a common housefly perceives this room as I would perceive it? Do you think a horse would perceive the way you perceive? Then why is the horse not correct? Just because you're more intelligent than the horse? No, it's not like that. The thing is, whatever we are perceiving and functioning as our perceived reality is mostly an average assumption. It's an average of all the perceptions of the current human beings. It's an assumption, and this assumption average of the reality, we've just taken it up as the grand truth. It's not the truth, it's just a workable part of the grand truth. And as a magician, you should know how to function beyond your senses so as to find what true reality is. For this, sometimes we require something which is known as altered states of consciousness. As you may know, in our normal brain, normal functioning conditioning, when we talk to others, when we function in the real world, we are mostly functioning at a beta brainwave state. Okay, but all the special abilities and access to the brain, the subconscious part of the brain, mostly takes place in deeper states, which are like alpha brainwave state, then the gamma, and finally the delta. These are extremely dense, deep states of meditation, deep states of the brain mind, where the electrical pattern of the brain changes, and during this moment the accessibility to the parts of the brain becomes more enhanced. As you can see in a lot of cultures, even in religion, even in magical traditions, even in general cultures of the world, meditation has been considered to be a very important part of our mental health regime. Like you go to the gym for building up muscles, similarly you use meditations to enter deeper states of trance, to enter altered states of the mind, where you may function a little differently and access other parts of the brain as well. So altered consciousness is very, very important in case of magical practices, and attainment of trance is something very basic and fundamental to the practice of magic. So we've come from language to brain extent, to the reality of the senses, to altered states of consciousness, to something finally, which is our power of belief. If you go throughout the cultures of the world, you'll find a lot of belief systems and people gaining benefit as well as having natural life derived out of these belief systems. This belief is a form of power that we have, which cannot be exactly quantified. It's subtle and it's one of our driving forces. You mostly chase those things in life which you deeply believe belong to you, or you deeply believe that you deserve, are the things that you chase after the most. So belief is a power that converts all your faculties, your physical faculty, your mental faculty, your emotional faculty, your spiritual faculties, to one singular target. So a chaos magician learns how to use belief, how to channel his or her belief into a singular system or a singular paradigm and make it true, and at least work with it till it's true. That is the power of belief. So a magician learns how to deal with all these faculties of the universe, all the aspects of this universe, learns their limitations, how to stretch them, how to break them, and how to go beyond.